Right, so this is the file which we just loaded to our Tableau. Now you can see there is a date field which contains a lot of dates, but in different formats, right? Okay. Then there is a invoice number. So if we go through this data part, we understand that the data is of a bus transportation where a person with this invoice charged rupees 30 takes a ticket and go to starts its journey from station A to station C on this particular date, right? Now let's put up some filters and check out the actual scenarios. So I mean it contains a lot of IDs, that's fine. Then a lot of dates as well. Now what we can see is it contains data between 2017 to 2018. So probably we can just sort it out and check out how many months data do we have. A to Z, okay. If we can see, it starts from 1/10/2017, it ends to 31. Oh, since the data is on two stuffs, that is like the data is not in one era, we need to format this data into date and time. Okay, short dates, I guess. Now every date is a short date, yes, and then we can just sort it, yes. Okay, and now let's save it. Now if we can see it starts from October 2017. Okay, it didn't got sorted out, fine. So we can just check out in Tableau how it reacts. Okay, in Excel it's not showing. Then we can see the ranges. The rupee starts from 9 to 500. Okay, so that means there are some wrong journeys as well. Then okay, so we have some blank values, we have some cards, we have some tickets, and we do have some NAs, which is null. Then we go to stations, station A, B, C, D, E. That means we have 5 stations, and again some null values. Okay, then in the ending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and NAs. That's cool. So now if being a data person, you need to understand what can be the primary key. So yes, it's very much clear that invoice number will be the primary one. So we need to check out for duplicacy as well. We need to check out whether there are no NAs in the data set. Okay, so there is NA and Z blanks. There are a lot of, I mean, there are things. Okay, now let's just get some count. So it contained 84. Okay, no 84. So if I go with the dates, so it has 1,000 records. Okay, so yes, fine. That means we are dealing with a record where, I mean, we have the records of 1,000. We just remove blank, NAs, NZ, whatever, and let's now check out. So yes, so 991. So there are nine records which are not used to us at all. Okay, because that if this is the primary key, we need to eliminate those stuffs because we don't have invoice ID, and if we don't have invoice ID, we are not going to capture who is the person who traveled. Now when we see into this, so there are no NAs. That means okay, money has been corrected from all the sectors. Now we'll see, okay, again there is no, then there is ticket type. So let's just remove the NA from the ticket type, and if we see, oh, we need to remove some blank values as well because it shows that we have blanks as well, right? 992. So it is showcased that there are places in tickets where we have NAs and blank values. Good. Let's go forward and let's remove NA from starting journey. Okay, so there is just one NA in the starting journey. And when we go to NA journey, there are 3 NAs in this part, this portion. Okay, so that means we need to do some data cleaning as well. Okay, before taking care of all these points. Let's move to Tableau. We have imported the data. We can see all the nulls values out here and everything. Okay, so here this thing comes into the picture. Now let's move to sheet 1. When we click on sheet 1, what we can see is the page of doing visualization gets open, right? What we did is we went to data sources, right? So this was the data source. Now we just clicked on sheet 1 and we came to this portion. Let's go back to data source. Now what we can see is this is the number, so it is an integer. This is the date. So you can see automatically things have been taken up. Previously we were facing the issue of date parameters, but in this it has one of its own parameter. Then these are obviously character values, and we took it, right? Now let's go to sheet 1. So this is the place where we are going to work. Let's just start exploring all these portions. So let's start with this panel. What is this? This is a place where we are going to create our maps, do visualization, get answers and insights. These are columns where we are going to put up columns. These are rows where we are going to put up values of rows. So now you can see all the number parts are in measures and all the string and date variables are in dimensions. So that means Tableau by themselves classify the numerical stuffs and dimensional stuffs. So then after going to all these points, you can see there is bus transportation here. You just double click it, you go to that particular data set. There are a lot of other options out here. Using of these parameters, you'll understand in future when we start using it. Search, you can search for the dimension. When you click on this thing, you can see the preview of all the data, right? Now number of records, all records are single, if you can see. Now one thing, if you check out, we had no such things like number of records for any of it. Do we? No, it is auto calculated, right? It's one of the calculated field which is showcased in it's a calculated field, and number, that means it is in measure. Yes, number of records. See, now how do we understand that it's a calculated field? You can see then double equals to sign. This gives, or this tells you that it's a calculated field. It's a generated. Now if we go to and hover it towards that particular equals to hash, then a generated field that counts the number of row. Whereas for these two, it is not going to say anything. That means it's a calculated field. It's a generated field that counts the number of rows. So we had talked about a duplicacy point, right? So are we seeing any duplicacy? We can just check out if there are more than one. Okay, there are no duplicacy. Wow. Let's just find out in future if do we have or do we don't have. Now it contains 1000 rows. Show name alias, and that's it. I mean, this is a preview of your data on which you're working upon.